on this lovely Tuesday evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. I consider it evening, but whatever. But how's everybody doing, man? Welcome to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday from the Steel Basement. I am your host, Adam Grizzly. Still got it. Still got the Adam Grizzly, guys, but it will be going away very, very soon. And for those of you that care about that, I'll be telling you about that here in just a moment. But welcome. Welcome. And yeah, as you would imagine, not a whole lot to talk about tonight, man. And I say that every week, but I really mean it tonight. I'm going to share with you here in a moment, what we'll be talking about here tonight. But I just need you guys to do me a favor. Let me know, how do I sound in terms of my voice? I got a new microphone, a better microphone, a more improved microphone, something that I had my eye on for quite a while, and I finally went ahead and got it and copped it. Been very happy with it, man, but this is the first time that I'm presenting it to you guys in Terrible Towel Tuesday. So let me know how the audio levels and things are, because it took me a minute to get everything set up correctly with this mic. Excuse me, so if y'all can give me the A-OK on that. But yeah, man, it's time to get into it, man. Not a whole lot to talk about, but let me let you guys know, of course, what we'll be talking about. If I can look around my water bottle here and see my Internet Explorer, my Google Chrome icon here, so I could pull up the topics, because I can't remember them all. But basically, what we're going to talk about here tonight, man, Steelers fans, expectations. Why are we so biased? I thought I'd have a little fun tonight. Pick a little fun with the Steelers fans, us Steelers fans. Why not? Nothing else to do, right? But I'll let you guys know what I'm talking about. I also want to talk a little bit about Steven Nelson. He tells a fan that he never wanted to be in Kansas City. So I'll just share my little quick thoughts on that. And then other than that, man, really the only thing else I have is, how will you feel if the Steelers players decide to kneel, this coming season? I think you might as well expect quite a few players across the NFL will probably be kneeling in protest. By now, we should all know why, and I'll just give you my thoughts on that, because I still feel like the whole kneeling, the whole flag situation has been misconstrued. I'll give you guys my thoughts, and listen, let me just tell you this. I'm not trying to get political or anything here tonight. We're all Steelers fans, okay? We're all Steelers fans. It's not my business what you believe in terms of your politics and things of that nature, but I will share you my thoughts and why, and I will explain to you what the movement is really about. And then you can decide whether you agree or disagree. We can definitely agree to disagree. But, you guys watch me. So I've learned that, even though I don't consider myself any type of public figure or anything like that, I'm definitely not. But I realize that, when you have somewhat of an audience and you have this family environment, you guys want to hear my opinion on things. So I'll share it with you without getting too deep. How about that? But all right, man, the first thing we'll talk about, well, before we actually do that, I'm actually out of order here. Let me say what's up to the early viewers. Forgot to do the intro, so let's do that really quick. Kato White, JJ Walker, In the Green, Joshua Shields, Night Wolf, Big Dro, Sun Moon, Builder's Life, Kegel's Bagel. He says, what's up? How you doing tonight? I'm doing good, man. Doing good, Kegel. Can't complain. Can't complain. My buddy Ron Simpson is in the building. Who else is in here? Jason Winningham, always coming through, man. How you doing, sir? Depressed Steelers fan. Tuning in early to Terrible Towel Tuesday for once. Appreciate that, Darren. Darren Dalton in the building. I'll read a few more names. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing tonight, Miss Lady? Real Facts is in the building, and make sure you guys, say hello to the ladies of the chat. We got to be proper gentlemen, and that's why you notice my tone changes when I talk to the ladies. I'm sure Debbie will pop in here if she's available, so make sure you say hello to Lanisha and Debbie. I believe we actually have another female viewer. I've seen an icon, an avatar of a female. I'm not sure. They could be using their wives or sisters or mothers account. I don't know, but we'll double check that tonight, because again, like I said, you want to give them a proper greeting. Who else we got in here really quick? What's up, Nays? Who else is in here? I know my brother Kenyon is in the building. I already saw him. What's up, Kenyon? Y Diggy, Patrick Covington Jr., Epilepsy, and I think we'll stop right there. Luis D and Mr. ABS. We'll stop. Ryan Jordan Mid. We'll stop right there, because I can't read everybody's name. Y'all know how that goes. Let me get a quick sip of water. Excuse me. And then we shall talk about nothing important. Let's face it. Right now, guys, it is very bleak. Very, very bleak. There's nothing to talk about right now. Actually, let me say this. Sidebar. What I might do, man, because I saw in the last show, and shout outs to you guys who comment, after the fact, come through and watch the show after, it airs live. Some people were saying I was a little bit hard on Matt Filer. So let me spend 2 seconds on that. I think what I might do, man, and I'm going to try to remember this, and I say try, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to try to remember this. Maybe I will do some, if I can still access Game Pass, which I think I can, maybe we'll take a look at some of Matt Filer's gameplay, live here on the show, and we can all analyze it. And listen, I'm not nobody's right tackle. I'm not nobody's offensive lineman, definitely not on the NFL level. So, my opinion doesn't really mean much. But again, I think most of us here have a, somewhat of a football acumen, and we know what the eye test tells us. So that's where I'm looking at it from Matt Filer. But, a lot of people were telling me, hey, PFF has him rated very, very high. And I'm like, listen, some people live by PFF. Some people don't. Some people agree with them. Some disagree. I'm not here to do either. I'm just saying there were situations when Matt Filer didn't look good. But he didn't do horrible. He wasn't the worst. My only point last week, man, was that I'm not fully confident in him, as a starting right tackle from what I saw as a whole last year. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I only noticed when there were bad situations, right? That could be very possible. Maybe I only noticed him when there was something bad that happened, and that's not fair to him. So maybe what I would do, man, is maybe next week, we'll try to find a few games. Maybe I'll do it on the fly. Maybe I won't even, pre-watch it. We'll all watch it together. And we'll have our assessments on, how Matt Filer is playing. So maybe that's something that we can, entertain that idea for next week. Let's see. Steven Nelson. So Steven Nelson basically got into it with a couple fans on social media. And the bigger point here is I want to know from you guys, how do you feel about professional athletes in general, as well as, the Steelers, which we can say our professional athletes? How do you feel about their participation in social media? I'll ask that question in a minute and we'll look at the chat. But basically, Steven Nelson got into a few debates, didn't go that long, but it was a little bit of back and forth with a couple fans. And this one guy, basically gets at him on Twitter and says, I'm glad you're not at Kansas City anymore. You were trash when you were there and blah, 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 blah. So what kind of got highlighted in the media is the fact that he replied back to him, I'm glad too. I didn't want to be there anyway. So my quick thoughts on just that piece, I don't really have any. I mean, that's his personal thing. I'll never know why he didn't want to be in Kansas City. It's not my business. I don't take things like that personal. He's an athlete. He is a businessman, which uses his talent and body or whatever you want to call it as his means of making money. Maybe he didn't like the social climate in Kansas City. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like the weather. I don't know. Maybe he had beef with some of the people on the team. I have no idea. So I don't have a huge opinion on that because I saw some people in the media trying to say, whoa, why is he saying that? He shouldn't say this. He shouldn't say that. I'm like, why not? He's just voicing his opinion. At least I didn't see it, but I don't think he went into detail as to why he didn't want to be there. He just responded to a fan. So that brings me to my second point. I don't really, listen, we're all humans, okay? Social media is a thing of the world now. You'll hear people like myself, who's, I'm not an old man, but I was around when there's certain things that were not around, right? I remember the days, I was a lot younger, but I remember when there was not a cell phone. I remember when there was no text messaging and things like that, right? So you might hear people from certain generations say things like, well, that's not how we used to do it, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I get it. But we have to understand the era that we're in, right? You have people now, let's say, that was born in the year 2000. All they know is technology. So how are you going to expect them to not do X, Y, and Z or certain things when it comes to social media? You can't. As well as you have people who were there before that. We're all right now in the technology age, technology world, so we all are going to dibble and dabble. Look at what we're doing right now. I have a camera in front of my face, a microphone, software where I can see myself talking in real time, see your chats in real time. That's technology, right? So we all are a part of that. So I can't go as far as saying, he shouldn't do that and he should stay off of social. I see it on both sides of the coin. Would I prefer my team, players, the guys that I invest in as far as emotionally because I'm a fan? Do I prefer these guys to be on social media? I don't. Not like that. We went through that with Antonio Brown. Nobody wants to see another Antonio Brown situation. And that, no disrespect to Antonio again. I don't like his antics. I don't like what he became, at least what it appeared to be what he became. But I don't know that man from a can of paint. I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to sit here and judge. But I just look at him like, wow, man, you kind of clowned out later on. But listen, I don't know why you did it. I don't know. But I definitely don't want an Antonio Brown situation. Nobody wants that, right? But you look at a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster. The kid Juju. He's the young kid, and he's developed this audience outside of the NFL as far as on the field. He has this YouTube following, great branding, I might add, very smart, using his platform, using his youth and all of that to connect with gaming and social media. He's setting himself up for later, right? So I look at it like I can't be mad at that. But my roundabout answer is I don't prefer NFL players or anyone that's in the limelight, whether you are a professional athlete, a musician, whatever it is you're doing. Don't entertain the peanut gallery. You don't have to. You don't have to. And listen, I used to be a victim of that a little bit. Not a lot, but I used to be a victim of, people with, especially dealing with Madden and all of that, with me having an affiliation with EA Sports. And you get the naysayers that would say, oh, you're riding on EA's, all of this nonsense. You're a man at the end of the day. You get an urge to want to reply back, but I put all that down some years ago. Like even Twitter, I don't even because it's not important. It's not important. Most of the time, they're just trying to get a rise out of you anyway, right? So I would just lend my advice to those players, dog. Just focus on what you got to do. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't get involved with no back and forth with a fan. Again, they're trying to get a rise out of you, and then it could create a situation that don't need to be there. It could create a distraction. You can say something off the cuff, and then it blows up, and the media has it, and then it's a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? So, Steven Nelson, you balled out for us last year. I like what you've done for the Steelers. Even though some people ain't giving you your props, I acknowledged it. I hope you continue to play like that. Don't worry about that. Keep your head down and keep balling. Don't worry about the negativity. That's my only advice to you if somehow this video finds it your way. Shout outs for snapping back on people. I get it, but you don't have to do that. All right, so that's just my quick 2 cents on that. But how do you guys feel, man? Let me look in the chat for maybe 2 minutes. How do you guys feel? And hey, guys, I want you guys to do me a favor. I see my father-in-law Leonard in the chat here. Y'all know I don't like to spread people's business, but unfortunately Leonard, had a death in the family. Had to attend a funeral today. I'm not gonna say who it was unless he wants to do that. But please, guys, if y'all can just give Leonard your well wishes, and give him your virtual hugs and say some prayers for him. It's been a rough week for Leonard. So please do that. Show your love. And, Leonard, you know how I feel. Love you to death, man. So everything will be okay. But I just want everyone else here as well to give you that uplifting spirit on a day like today as well. So if you guys could do that for me, man, that would be great. What y'all got? Oh, my God. Y'all probably hear my dog going crazy, man. Give me a second. Let me tell my wife to quiet him down. All right. So what y'all got, man? How y'all feel about the player? People talking and running their mouth on social media. Jordan Mears says, I think some of the fans have forgotten that Juju has a life. It's more than football. It's about enjoying life and having fun. Absolutely. Kenya says, always have to remember that Juju is younger than Deontay Johnson. Absolutely. I don't see many of you guys saying much about it. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all giving y'all's condolences to Leonard. Thank y'all for that, man. I really, really, really appreciate y'all for that. Again, this is a family atmosphere. All right, man. So continue to do that. Thank y'all for that, man. That means a lot. Kegel said that dog sounds like a rough problem. Nah, he ain't nothing, man. I don't know if y'all remember when I got him. He's my 6-year-old son's dog. He's a little pipsqueak. If it was up to me, I would never have gotten this dog because I like big boys, big dogs. I like a dog's dog, but he's a little squirt. Let's see. All right, man, let's get into it. So the next thing I want to talk about, man, is we're gonna save the national anthem for later. That'll be the last topic. Let me check the phone queue, man. I'm tripping. We do have a call in the queue, and I'll grab the call in just a second. Let me hit this second topic, and then 803, I'll come right to you. Steelers fans, man, we a little too biased. I gotta get on us. I gotta pick on us for a minute. We're a little too biased sometimes, man. Let me explain to you why. So I've been having this battle, with other Steelers fans. And I won't say it's a battle, but I've been kind of trying to temper people's expectations. Everyone is saying that we're going to run away with the AFC North and, the Steelers are going to win 7 this year. And I'm like, listen, I feel you. Nothing can make me happier as a Steelers fan is for us to come back with a vengeance. Ben have that wonderful comeback story, and later in his career, this is not the same comparison. I'm just talking about age. Have that John Elway effect where in his final 2 seasons he goes to the Super Bowl and he gets 2 of them. I don't think that'll happen, but it'll be great for a Roethlisberger to go out like that. Have a season-ending injury, and he comes back later when everyone says he's washed and he's not considered one of the top quarterbacks and wins the Super Bowl. Would be phenomenal. We would be going crazy over here on this show. All of us would be going Looney Tune, right? But we have to do this. Bring it back down to reality. Ben Roethlisberger. We don't know what Ben Roethlisberger we're going to get, number one. Let's not act like the Ravens aren't the team in the AFC North at this moment. Let's stop acting like that. Even if Ben Roethlisberger was there, granted, I'll give us this. The way we played Lamar Jackson last year, very well. Very close to winning that football game. Some might say, speaking of Juju, some might say if Humphrey doesn't knock the ball out on this second attempt, because remember the first time he tried to strip him, Juju runs around him, kind of pushes him to the ground, long touchdown. Humphrey comes back, does the same thing, punches that ball out, Juju loses it, we lose the game. Some would say we would have won that game, even without Ben Roethlisberger. So most people is trying to use conventional wisdom, and they say, well, if Ben was playing with that defense, there's no way we lose. Really? I'm not 100% sure about that. Maybe. Now, Ben Roethlisberger could be the guy that we saw in the divisional round when the Jags came into Heinz Field after we had a bye week, and Ben puts up X amount of yards, 42 points on the number 1 defense at the time. Could very well be that, but we don't know. We don't know. Anytime a player comes back from injury, there's an unknown. There's a built-in unknown. So that's all I'm saying. But how are we dismissing so many teams just because we are Steelers fans? You can't do that. And again, you all have the right to feel the way you want to feel. I'm just realistic. I'm optimistic with realism, tucked in there. And I said it early on. I'm thinking this year maybe a 10-6. That's doable. Possibly 11-5, but you got to look at who we playing. It ain't like our schedule is not super easy. I want everyone to remember that. However, I did hear on the Terrible podcast, shout outs to Dave, Brian, and Alex Kazoo, I did hear them say the last time that we played these exact conferences, the Steelers went 12-4 and won the Super Bowl. But I'm one of those people that's like, listen, don't count your eggs before they hatch. We do not know what type of Big Ben Roethlisberger is coming back. We have no idea. So I just don't understand how we take that approach of saying, the Steelers are just the best team all the time. Listen, man, be real with yourselves. We know football, right? Kansas City is a tough outing. Why? Not just because of the guy that I really, really, really like, Patrick Mahomes. Not just because of him. But because they won the Super Bowl, maybe. Maybe that's the reason why I'm looking at them as being a premier team in the AFC. Just maybe. And just right there in our own division. Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens are the deal until we knock them off. Right now, they got the upper hand. There's been years when we had the upper hand. But we can't sit here and act like that the Ravens ain't a problem. We can't do that. They had a good draft. I'm just saying. Now, of course, I'm going to be like this, and the towel is not with me, but I'm going to be swinging the towel all season and pumping my fist. But I'm going to be realistic in saying I don't know if we are the best team in the AFC right at this moment. So I really wish you guys would stop sending me messages talking in that vein. Like you approach me with that. Man, we going to kill. Like, nah, I don't know. Let's just see. But I don't know. That's just the Steelers fan. I guess it's because we're used to, we always say winning ways and, the 6 rings and all of that. But again, you got to be realistic with this thing, man. When you're more realistic, you're able to deal with disappointment a lot easier. So just my 2 cents. But let's grab the phone call, man. Let's see what we got. 1 second. Let me pull it up here. And good, we have 3 calls in the queue, so I'm assuming the Blog Talk Radio is working and you guys can hear me in the phone queue. We'll give it a try. But you guys know the routine, man. In and out. Quick and out so we can get through the calls. Please do that. I appreciate it in advance. So first up is area code 803. What you got for us tonight?
Good evening, brother. I would like to encourage the ladies one night to call the queue. I would love to hear their voices and hear their opinions on Steelers football. Obviously, they follow us all the time. Us all the time. But reason why I'm a biased Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I can't help that every game we play, we have a chance to win. That we will compete. We will not look bad.
Yeah.
This year, I got to admit, Ben's coming back. We don't know what Ben's going to be. There are some other variables we need to find out. A running game. Can James Conner stay healthy? Man looks like $6 billion. He just put together.
Yeah.
But he can't stay healthy. That's another situation, And because I feel if we're going to win 11 to 12 games, we're going to have to run the football. That's very important. Finally, you were talking about the flag situation. Well, quite honestly, my whipping boy, Alejandro Villanueva, he is probably going to be the one that's going to stand out, just like he did in that Chicago Bear game a few years ago. He's going to be the one that stands out and probably separate himself from the team. And he's my whipping boy because not only I felt Roman Foster spent about 5 years protecting him, but at the same time last year I just did not see any get up off the ball on the run blocking. And he's in a position where if the coaches are very fair, let those guys compete with him. He's in his last year of his contract. Maybe he's a cap casualty. Who knows? Matt Fowler, I think, is very average. So there's not much I think about Matt Fowler. It's all gravy. They're low investment players. I said that last. But thank you so much and have a great day.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for calling like always. Always love the insight. And yeah, I'll be quick with the responses. If I'm asking you guys to be quick on the calls, then I have to be quick when I respond as well. So let me oblige there. Yes, I would love to encourage Lanisha and Debbie, whenever you have an opportunity, please call in. We would love to hear your perspective. You know, like he said, some people want to put a voice to the name, et cetera, et cetera. But I understand if you don't. You know, I know that's not everybody's thing. You know, so I'm not going to be the one that would, push for it. You know, like when you go to church, there's always somebody like, come on, do it. I ain't going to do that. If you comfortable, great. We would love to hear you. But, whenever you have time and whenever you're available, yes, we're going to have to run the football. And speaking of running the football, we're going to have to defend that run. Boy, we got some running backs that we got to deal with this season. And, yeah, James Conner looking like Hulk right now. I mean, I don't want to be looking, at another brother's back and having a great opinion about it. But I couldn't help but to say, this dude looks like an animal. I mean, that back profile, wow. It almost made me think, is he too big? Did he get too muscular? I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, man, Big Al, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he has a bounce back season and, if he can solidify himself and warrant, us having to re-sign him. We'll see. But appreciate the call, man. Let's move on. Area code 910. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sam? This is Freddie G, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
From like a couple of weeks. All right, it's good. I just first of all like to apologize. I didn't mean any harm a couple of weeks ago when I was speaking. I was only speaking to the fans that believe that we should stay with the statues standing tall in the pocket. I wasn't talking to the ones who think we need to change, and I didn't make that clear. And I'm not. But I want to apologize to you for the tone. Not, if the tone of what I was saying was off, I apologize to you. I love the show. I have to have my Steeler fix. When I'm not watching your show, it's Steeler Depot or Steel City Underground or Behind the Steel Curtain. I know you. I love your show, man. I love every episode. But when I ain't got my Steeler fix, sometimes I have to go. But with Alex and Dave, jokingly, after Alex does his spiel, you can't see it, but you can hear it. I tell anybody that ain't seen the Steeler Depot that as soon as Alex finishes steel, you might as well be on a lounging chair and get some Z's because Dave is going to go along. He's talking about long-winded on steroids.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to finish, and every time Alex say go at it, he's going to go at it. I mean, it's 20 minutes long. But anyway, Steel City Underground and Behind the Steel Curtain with Jeff. He's gone now, and Big Bro and Little Bro. These are Steeler podcasts like yours.
Yeah. I'm familiar with all of them. Yeah.
But anyway, I watched your show, and Steel City Underground. You can't see no faces; it's just voices. But I can't get enough of Steeler info. But anyway, long story short, I'm a biased Steeler fan. Do you mean do I like Pittsburgh? What do you mean by that?
No, I'm just saying, when I say bias, it's funny. It's like some of us, not all of us, just picking fun at us fans. It's like we can't do no wrong. They always think we gonna win every year, regardless. We the best team, regardless. Like they have blinders on. They don't look at reality. That's what I mean.
Well, I'm gonna end it with this because I know my 2 minutes is running short. 11-5, 12-4 is doable, but it's delusional because the road to the Super Bowl, in my eyes, for the next 10 years is like you said. Maybe the wrong reason, but you said the right point. It's through, in my opinion, if they stay healthy, Baltimore and Kansas City. I consider them the best in the AFC. And until proven different, and I mean in the playoffs. I just think the road to the Kansas City and Baltimore are the best for the next 10 years. And so we can beat them, but it's lucky in my opinion, because all we do is run and throw it in this statue offense. And they do 5 things, we do 1. You get 5 people in the ring. If you beat 5 people, it don't mean 1 can't beat 5, but if he does, it's lucky. Because we're only doing 1 thing, hand the ball off and pass it. They're doing 7 things. When your 1 beats 7, it's lucky. When they beat you, it's skill, in my eyes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got to go, man. But I love the Steelers, love the show, man. And I think 9-7, 10-6 is about the max. I'll be shocked. Thank you, Sim.
Man, thank you as well, Freddie, man. And hey, don't apologize for nothing, man. This is a family environment. You know, I don't think anybody should take anything negatively, any opinions, even if it sounds a little aggressive. I'm from a different environment. You know, I'm from an environment where people talk like that. And it's normal talk. You know, where I've had to tell people around my family that didn't know them was like, yo, they all right? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Monday. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't apologize for nothing. I definitely didn't take it anyway. And you know, if any of the fans did or listeners, if any of you guys did, that was cool. But yes, I ain't mad at that. And that's really why I'm just poking fun at us as a fan base and trying to get some of you guys to talk, because there ain't nothing to talk about. So I thought it would be a funny topic, you know, as far as the topic and the title. But I like what you said. That's reality. You know, and you hit it right on the head. You said the next 10 years. Folks, we got Ben Roethlisberger this year, next year at best. Most of y'all don't like Mason Rudolph. Some of us are saying we're not confident the Steelers will even draft a quarterback in next draft. Kansas City and Baltimore are set. The road to the Super Bowl is probably through those guys, especially now with Tom Brady going down south. Just saying, man. Listen, I would love for us to come back and be the dominant, prominent Steelers, but we have to be realistic. We got two juggernauts in my eyes right now in the AFC that's going to be there. They've been there. Last couple seasons, ain't they been right there? And then you got teams like the Colts who might peak up, or perk up a little bit, if you will, you know, with the talent that they built around Rivers. And, you know, Tennessee, you know, they bolster their defense and they continue to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we got to be careful. So I'm just saying, don't just think the Steelers going to win everything. Let's temper our expectations and root for them at the same time, if that makes sense. Appreciate the call, man. Next up, area code 651. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Tim? How's everybody out there doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing, brother?
So, I hear that, man. Good to hear that. I just got 3 quick points. I'm going to try to get them out of the way quick. One is James Conner. One thing that I said about him since he came into the league is he takes too many straight-on hits.
Yes.
You know how he got with it, but he doesn't use it. I don't know if he doesn't have the vision of Le'Veon, which is not him, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When they were together, you saw him picking up some of Le'Veon's game. If you think back to Willie Parker, when Mendenhall came in, Willie had no shake at all. If the hole was there, he hit it, he's gone, but other than that, he didn't have much shake. But when Mendenhall got there and started doing that pattern kid, all of a sudden, you saw Willie Parker pick it up. So I think a guy like McFarland would help him when he sees how he moves. Maybe he'll kind of pick up a few steps from him because that normally happens with running backs. And I think that's one of the reasons Connor's hurt a lot. So the other thing is when Ben comes back, he needs to take the Brady approach. And what I mean by that is let the horses win the game for you until you have to win.
Yes, sir.
Put the ball on them and let them do their thing. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to throw for 400. Get it to your horses and let them do their thing until you got to win the game. And that's going to be big for us. The last thing is Baltimore. Like I agree with you. Right now, you got to give Baltimore, you know, the winners. But the one thing I will say is Baltimore struggles against teams that are strong up the middle as far as good safety and a pretty decent middle linebacker. Because you look at Buffalo and the Steelers, we played them the best this year. And what does Lamar Jackson like to throw? Down the middle. Because those outside numbers, I think he's still a gunshot. That's why I think they boasted up on big linemen and big running backs, pound it down your throat, try to play fake it. But he's not good throwing anywhere else but down the middle. And if you're strong down the middle, he's scared of. And if you notice, that's how we beat him. Well, almost beat him. Let me say that.
Yeah, so, we had him too, man. Man, appreciate the call. Great points, man. I'm going to reply to all of those there, man. Yes, absolutely. James Conner takes too many hits, you know, straight up hits. And the proof is, look at the difference in Le'Veon and him. You know, we saw Le'Veon ain't take too many direct, lethal shots. You know, sometimes he would try to deliver a blow. Conner does as well. But it's a little different than Le'Veon. You know, and Le'Veon was bigger, you know, taller and bulkier. But yeah, Conner takes too many straight on shots, man. And, you know, he he kind of reminds me. They're not the same player at all, but he kind of reminds me of what I felt about Marion Barber. When Marion Barber was looking to dish out punishment. And that's to me how Connor is. Like, he runs with an edge. It almost is, and I don't want to say it in this vein, so I hope nobody takes it the wrong way. But he runs with that determination of a surviving cancer patient. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he runs with his plight with him at all times. At all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he has an edge, or like he has a chip on his shoulder or something like that. But he's gonna have to chill a little bit, man, because his body don't handle it well. And maybe, him bulking up, looking like the Hulk right now might help him out. We'll see. If we compare it to a basketball analogy, we all saw The Last Dance. And, when Jordan started hitting the weight room to deal with the Pistons and all of that, maybe this will help Connor. He put more muscle and stuff on. He can't change his style at this point. We'll see. I definitely agree with that. Something else you said was, Ben, get the ball to the playmakers. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes dump it down. And if my brother Tony is in here, he will agree with that wholeheartedly. He always says it. Why on 3rd and 1, Ben always taking the deep shot. Get the ball to your playmakers. Let them make things happen. Guys like Deontay Johnson, get him quick passes. Get him the ball quick and let him create. Yes. You don't have to throw for 300-400 every game. I'm very fine with a 250-yard, two touchdown game, maybe one interception, and we got maybe 100 yards rushing collectively. Defense holds the team under 20 points. I can deal with that. I don't need Ben throwing 300-400. Let's be smart with the football. Be older Ben. Let the young boys do what they got to do. Great points right there, man. And I didn't write down your last point, man, so forgive me for forgetting what the last point was. But yeah, definitely the first two things you said there, I'm right there with you. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to remember the last thing you said. We talked about Connor, we talked about Ben and the playmakers, and then actually let me look in the chat, man. If y'all can hear me, I know y'all can hear me, but if you can hear me, man, what was your last point? Because I want to comment on that as well before I take the last call here. Baltimore, that's what it was. I remember now. You are absolutely right. You have to look at how we played Baltimore and almost won the first game. I'm not talking about the finale. And yeah, Lamar Jackson, typically where he's money and where his accuracy has improved is down the middle to them tight ends. You're right. Outside the numbers, not so much. Will he do it? Has he connected a little bit? Yeah, but I do think he's a little vulnerable there. If you can keep him in the pocket and force him to throw it on the outside. But down that seam and underneath is where he kills you with them tight ends. Absolutely. So if you got, a pretty rangy middle linebacker, you got some decent safety play, which we have, both of those, you should be able to bang with them. If we can contain the run, excuse me, and if we can get our offensive going, it's not like they're unbeatable. But, going back to what one of the other callers said, they do so many different things and different looks, and they have so much more they can throw at you. And I know Ben is not that type of quarterback, but even like with Patrick Mahomes, just from a formation standpoint, utilizing all of their tools, Andy Reid has always done that. And we are very vanilla at times. So if we can, if Matt Canada can come in, man, and along with Fichtner, they can come up with a plan to get these guys on the move and, get Deontay Johnson in space, get Claypool matched up against the right person and things like that. Yeah, if we can get our offense back to where we're scoring, it ain't even got to be 30. If we averaging 21 to 24 points a game, with that defense being anywhere close to what it was, we can bang with everybody. But you got to give the nod in the AFC right now to Baltimore. You got to do that if you're being real with yourself. But all right, man, let's take the last call, I believe, here. Area code 814. What you got for us tonight?
Hey, man, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
I think we're going to 19-0, man. Straight up. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the Steeler goggles on. I'll come back down. For real, though. I think that as Ben ages and as he has aged, the offense is kind of taking a step towards all Ben and no others. I think that in the coming 2-3 years, the Steelers are going to have to find a running back that's going to be able to step up and be the leader of the team. I think that Ben's going to have to be a game manager this year. I mean, I think that 12-4 is probably the absolute highest we could go. I don't think we're getting that 1 seed in the bye, that's for sure. It's probably going to the Chiefs or the Ravens or maybe the Colts. I don't know. But, I mean, I think as you said, I mean, if the defense is able to play it as well or even a little bit underneath the scoring averages that they were able to put up in 2019, I think we'll be fine. I mean, as long as we keep the turnovers down, that's a big problem with Ben. I think starts spreading it out in the 5 wide, and that leads to disasters. So, man, I think that it's possible to get to probably AFC title game, but I don't know if a Super Bowl run is a real thing. But amen. Thank you. Everybody needs to sub and let's like the video.
Man, thank you for that. If I'm not mistaken, you're very welcome, man. And if I'm not mistaken, 814 is Kegel's Bagel, I believe. I told y'all I'm nutty with my memory, but I think that's who that is. And if you can comment that in the chat to confirm, then appreciate it. And yes, thank you for telling people to sub and like. Thank you for doing that. But before I get into the last topic, man, and I've done very well with time tonight. I see we're at 42 minutes, so this is how I need to start doing the rest of these. I'm going to try to stay right in here, man, where I can be an hour or less on these shows. While we're talking about 12-4 and things like that, 11-5, and let's just take a peek at the schedule. I'm just going to throw it out there for everybody who doesn't know, and you guys can let me know if you still feel the same way after hearing the schedule. And again, schedules, whatever. You never know how that's going to go. It reminds me of some years back when we had LeGarrette Blount and Bell, and we go down to Carolina, and they was the number 1 defense in the league, and we were kind of on a losing, I think we were like 0, might have been 1-2 or something like that, and we go down there and obliterate them, rush for over 200 yards. You never know. Schedules don't always mean things, but you can only have an educated guess based off of your opponent. So let me throw it at you guys. Monday night, we open up and we got the early Monday night game at 7:15. We're at the New York Giants. So week 1, New York Giants. Week 2, Denver Broncos. Week 3, Houston Texans. Another playoff team, right? Week 4, Tennessee Titans. Week 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Week 6, Cleveland Browns. Week 7, Baltimore Ravens. We get a bye. Come after the bye, we go down to Big D. Got the Dallas Cowboys. Cincinnati Bengals in week 10. Week 11, Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 12, Baltimore Ravens. That's a Thursday, the 26th. That's Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. Week 13, Washington Redskins. Week 14, Buffalo Bills. Week 15, Cincinnati Bengals. Week 16, Indianapolis Colts. And then week 17, the Cleveland Browns. So, question is, after hearing that, do you guys still feel comfortable with 12-4, 11-5? And if you do, great. I'm just saying, does that change anything hearing the actual schedule? All right, so I'll give you guys a couple minutes to ponder that. And, actually hold that off for a minute. If you want to post it in there, fine. But I will ask you to do it again after I finish this last point. When I always come to you guys to end the show with the chat. Let me hit the last topic, and I'll be very brief with it. We got to address this topic, man, obviously with everything that's going on in our nation right now. I talked about it already. I believe I talked about it on this show. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I talked about it on this show, and I definitely talked about it on my other podcast as well. But the climate right now of the world, of course with the pandemic, but outside of that, the racial, injustices and, just just the tension, and the police brutality and, minorities and specifically the African American community being killed by the hands of the cops. And you got to expect this season, there will be a lot of kneeling, folks. I'm sorry. If that upsets you, don't kill the messenger. I'm just trying to give you a foreshadowing. This is going to happen. You already seen Adrian Peterson come out and say, expect this to happen. You seen that video that NFL players got together and did themselves, talking about the injustices and things like that. A bunch of different players, right? You're seeing players protesting in their cities and things like that. It's going to happen, folks. You're seeing Roger Goodell come out and say, whether you believe him or not, come out and say, we got it wrong. And you know what, Roger Goodell, you know what else you got wrong? You didn't even say Colin Kaepernick's name. Come on, bro. And I don't know if it's him or if it's the PR department for the NFL, but how you missed that opportunity? If you're trying to save face, right? Because let's just call it what it is. Could be a sincere apology or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're saving face because you are an organization. You don't want to have a negative connotation, right? You gotta say Colin Kaepernick's name. That makes you look phenomenal. If you come out and say, listen, Colin Kaepernick, we got it wrong. That changes the whole message. But you didn't do that. So you still look a little crazy because you talk about y'all got it wrong and all. You talked around the topic and didn't talk about the person who was the subject of the topic. But whatever. And also, it is going to put pressure, guys, on NFL teams to now give Colin Kaepernick a real opportunity. Right? And that all depends on whether he wants it. Because I made my claim, when he did what he did with the workout and all of that and how he showed up and I gave you my thoughts on it then. Who knows if he really is trying to get back in the NFL or if he's really just trying to prove a point. But if he is, this puts pressure on the team to sign Colin Kaepernick. That would go a long way, to put this thing to bed as if you allow this guy to play football. We don't know what type of football shape he's in. He's 32 years old. That's not an old man, not yet for quarterback. I'm sure go look at the rosters. If y'all want to pull him up right now, look at the rosters. I'm sure he's better than a lot of these guys in a backup role right now. Even with me not seeing him play in years, I'm sure he's better than those guys. Just from last time I saw him. So we'll see. But I'm just trying to prepare you guys. It might even be on the Steelers team, and I want to know how you guys would feel about that. And let me end it with this. Again, I want people to never, misconstrue the message. It was never about the American flag from a standpoint of disrespecting it. Had nothing to do with that at all. It was because what it represents in terms of the national anthem. And for those of you who know the lyrics that were included in the national anthem before they were removed and what the national anthem is supposed to be signifying. That is the reason why the kneel happened, because he did not feel like, liberty and justice for all and all of that applied to all Americans, particularly the minority community. So what did he do? He first started sitting down, and for a long time he was doing it, nobody noticed, and all of a sudden it got noticed. Then he spoke to Boyle, Nick Boyer, I think his name was, ex-military guy. He told him the proper way to do it, to where it would be respectful. And I think a lot of people miss that. For the narrative spinners who try to say it's disrespectful to the military, no. The military guy told him to kneel. In fact, he said that is your right to do that. Do it this way. It's less disrespectful than sitting down. Sitting down doesn't look that good. Kneel. And he obliged and started to kneel, right? People also forget that this man has military people in his own family. A lot of us do. My father, military retiree. He did 26 years. But at the end of the day, it was never about that. And now here's the crazy part. Kneeling The image of a kneel and a knee down has a whole totally different image now, bruh, after seeing what this cop did to George Floyd. So all I'm saying is you better believe that there is going to be a lot of kneeling. Anticipate that happening. And I just want to know, how would you guys feel about that, man? Is that going to upset you if you see the Steelers players doing that? And I'm curious to know why, if it does upset you. I'm not judging anybody. Just would love to know why you would feel upset. Because, again, I think anybody who feels that way, like Drew Brees, you're looking at it from a totally different lens. It's not about disrespect or being unpatriotic or anything like that towards the flag. Has zero to do with that. And let me speak on that real quick, and then I'll get to the chat. Drew Brees, you put your foot in your mouth. Yeah, that was a mistake. Do I think Drew Brees is? This is not me talking. I'm just gonna, say all of the things that I heard people say about him during this time. Do I think Drew Brees is racist? No. Do I think Drew Brees is could care less? No, I don't think none of that. What I think is Drew Brees just sees the world in a different lens. Sometimes people don't really know. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I'm just saying his experience in America is totally different than a minority. The only thing I blame Drew Brees for is bad timing. Because for somebody who's we think is one of the smarter people in the NFL, and that's not a slight to anybody, but y'all know what I'm saying. Well-spoken, he does community outreach things, and he donates. Somebody who's so aware, you would think that person would know this is the wrong time to say X, Y, and Z. And that's why I blame him. But I don't hate Drew Brees. I ain't turning my nose up at the guy and saying, oh, this dude is right. No. I don't believe that. I think we would have heard more about that years ago, if that was the case. I just think you completely was out of bounds, and you should have known better than to say something like that now, during the protests and all of the battling. Wrong timing, man. You was out of bounds. That's all. People make mistakes. Just, God, yeah, you can't make that one though. If he was like literally a brother of mine, I'd be on him like, bro, what were you thinking? Like, come on, man, can't do that. So that's all I feel about that. But all right, man, let's get into it. How would you guys feel? If you want to post that here in the comments, I'll be happy to read it. If not, if y'all want to talk about something else, I'll read your comment. But it's comment time. We got about 7 minutes. Let's get to it. Let's see what you got. Brent says, just caught this, Kenyon, but I'm with you about Pat Mahomes. Can't make the exception of the rule. What happened with Pat Mahomes? Let me see what y'all got. Somebody repost that. What was stated about Patrick Mahomes? Because I want to be a part of that conversation, whatever y'all are saying. I think I missed it. So if y'all can repost that, please do. And then Kenya says, exactly, Brent. I'm just talking realistic about our players. That's it. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to, mix up anything you guys are saying. So if y'all can post the original point, please do me a favor and do that. Dave Shipley. Let me not, just assume your name is David.
90 seconds.
Oh, hold on, guys. Let me cut off Blog Talk. Let me cut that on off. We don't need you no more. Dave says, I fought in combat. We fought for the right to do whatever you want. Here's to you, Dave. I salute you. First of all, I thank you for your service, Dave. I salute you for that, and I salute you for having the wherewithal of saying, look, this is what we fought for. And that's it. That's the whole point. So again, a double thank you to you, man. Thank you for your service. Darren Dalton says maybe he meant killing it as killing the Cowboys' chance at a ship. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about, so I missed it. Daryl Duke says, and a knee killed George Floyd, the exact thing Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee for against the police brutality. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Shadow Slayer says Drew Brees' teammates not fitting to give him. Yeah, they ain't. And he said finna. So I think my man, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shadow, but you from down south somewhere, because he said finna give. They not finna to forgive him, man. Nah, they not. You know, some of them have. You know, maybe publicly it might have been a PR move, but Malcolm Jenkins ain't trying to hit that for sure. Kegels Bagel says, oops, let me go back. I missed it. There it is. From a football perspective only, we don't need Cap. It would be a waste of contract football-wise. It depends on how you see it, man. I was going to talk about that tonight, too, whether people would be, receptive to Colin Kaepernick. I don't know, because I don't know what to think about that, but us sometimes, our fans. Because we claim to hate Mason Rudolph, so you would think you would be happy to bring anybody else that could compete with him. See, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how we feel as a fan base. Let's see. Let me get the one that I haven't read yet. Nightwolf, he says, Breeze simply says something he feels strongly about at the wrong time, in the wrong context. That's all. Bad timing. There you go. Pretty much what I said. Just bad timing. And listen, if you listen to his whole statement, you'll get what he was trying to say. But again, don't lean into the fact that don't make it about just your grandfathers did this, did that, because a lot of our grandfathers did. I know my grandfather fought in World War II. And the fact of the matter is, and again, I'm not getting political on any of us tonight. I'm not trying to divide none of us, because that's not what I'm about. But let's just spew some facts. A lot of the African-American community came back from war, and they couldn't even sit at the same restaurant. Couldn't even drink at the same water fountain. Couldn't even ride in the front of the bus. But we over there fighting for the country. See what I'm saying? So that's where Drew Brees' explanation, again, he won't connect in the dots. You know what I'm saying? That's all. There was nothing wrong with what he said per se as far as where his heart lied. But he just didn't connect the dots. It was just bad timing. And like you said, bad context. But that's it. Move on, man. Excuse me, guys. I keep hiccuping here. Builder's Life says, people who say kneeling is disrespectful will never say that Kaepernick will be on the right side of history. They can't understand that the flag on panties, bras, beer cans is disrespectful. I totally agree. Lanisha and Debbie, please close your ears for a moment. I don't mind it on panties. Just saying. Y'all know I gotta lighten the mood a little bit. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Builder's Life. And wearing it on a shirt and stretching it across the field is actually against the code, according to how you're supposed to display the flag. So I always found that funny too, how people didn't see that point. All right, let me try to burn through these, man. We only got a few more minutes. Sippy Boy says, at this point, there's no reason to kneel anymore. Okay. The whole point was to bring awareness to our mistreatment by the police. Now the world knows and stands with us. What's the next step? You know what, Sippy Boy? I think I know where you're going with this. Some people might read your comment and take it out of context, but I think I know where you're going with this. Let me quote, not quote, but reflect back to the whole Jay-Z statement. Remember when, Jay-Z does the deal with the NFL, et cetera, and he said pretty much that. He said, look, we did that. But now what? And people took that as like he was slighting Colin. No, he wasn't. He was saying, look, I applaud Colin Kaepernick for what he did. We brought the awareness. The awareness is here. Now, what do we do now? Oops. Well, I don't even need these no more. I knocked the cord out, but I don't even need them no more. So I guess my arm was telling me to take them headphones off. But basically what he was saying was, now what do we do? Now how do we implement change? Where do we go from here now that we have the awareness? And I wholeheartedly agree with that. So shout outs to you, Sippy Boy, because I know that's what you're trying to say. Like I said, some people are probably going to read what you said there and take it out of context, like you're saying we don't need to do that no more. But no, he's merely saying, okay, we got your ear now. And then, like you said, the world rocking with us right now. And I say us because I am a part of the minority community. The world is rocking. These protests you seeing over in London and Australia, it's crazy. Japan, they not even speaking the language, but they were saying Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Dog, you're right. So now what do we do? Great point. Let's get to some other people really quick. Real Fact says Breeze said nothing wrong per se. He just lacked the empathy and agreed. Bad timing. Yeah, that's all it was. Kegel says, sidebar Sim, when you played ball, what position did you play? And who was your pro comparison in terms of play style? Wow, you're going to have to give me a little bit of time to come back with you with comparison. But I played running back and strong safety. Sometimes linebacker. But yeah, that's where I play. But that's, yeah, I'm going to need a little bit of time, man, to give a pro comparison. So remind me to do that. Kenya says, scroll up, Sam. I probably missed it again, Kenya. My bad. Oh, okay, wait. I think I see it. He says, they brought up Ben and said Ben attempted 10 passes his rookie year with the #1 defense, and he brought up Dak, Tim Couch. So I had to hit him with the truth, Sim, about their beginnings as rookies. Okay. I got you. So Kenya was taking y'all to school out there, I see. Luis says, I kind of surprised Cam Newton isn't signed yet, especially after he said he's willing to be a backup. Is there more to this? Whoa. Now you put me on game. I didn't know he said that. Can I go back on something I said, guys, earlier in these episodes? I don't remember what episode it was, but if Cam Newton is willing to be a backup and the money is right, I'll take him. I'll take him. I once said that we didn't need to spend that kind of money, and remember, I said verbatim, he ain't trying to be nobody's backup. Listen, let me tell you something. Whether y'all like him or hate him, if Cam Newton is willing to be a backup and he'll take backup money just to approve himself, come on home, baby. Come on home. I take Cam Newton, Jack. I think there's still some talent there. Now, I would like to see Cam develop, and it's funny to say that after he's been in the league for so long, but I'd like to see him have a transformation, kind of like what Michael Vick did. I want to say like that second season with Philly after the jail time and all of that. Remember when, he was consistently throwing for 300 yards and he was in the pocket, always had an arm on him and had accuracy? I would like to see that Cam Newton now. I don't want to see Cam being a prominent runner full time, even though he's a big boy and he can carry that brunt. I want to see Cam transform a little bit. So if you could get that out of him, come on home, baby. I'll take you. Come on home. Let's see what else y'all got. Lanisha laughing at me. Yeah, got to make some jokes, but I got to be respectful to the ladies at all times. Let's see. I'm going to read 2 or 3 more of these, and then I'm going to be out of here because I'm already 3 minutes past my time. Sim, what are your thoughts on Ted getting to the Steelers rumors? I don't have no thoughts on that. I'm going to be honest. Listen, one thing that's impressive to me about Ted Ginn is the guy has continued to keep his speed. Ted Ginn been fast since college. And it don't seem like he lost it. The boy can still fly. However, has had drop issues. And I don't see where he fits. Meaning, who's he getting off of the field? If we're going to say we need a deep threat with speed, that's going to be Chase Claypool. He's going to get that shot. James Washington is one of our deep threats, even though he's not the fastest, but he's the attack the ball, lobsters for hand, lobster claws, comes down with the ball. He's not going to get Deontay off the field. He's not getting Juju off the field. So, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Let me see what else y'all got. Y'all said I played like a slow Ryan Clark. Golly, y'all tough, man. I did used to knock heads off, though. But Ryan Clark was a free safety, by the way. Not a strong. Come on, man. Don't do me like that, guys. Let me see. It was one I wanted to read. I think it was Eric. Let me find you, man. Eric. Here we go. Eric McDuffie says, Breeze did say something wrong because he reiterated the false narrative that detracts from the original meaning. He did. He kind of doubled down on his point. So that's what I'm saying, man. He was oblivious to the effect that he would have. And listen, do I forgive him? Sure. But again, even if I say something that's wrong, y'all got to hold me accountable to it. A lot of y'all feel like, yo, Sim a good dude or whatever, or I love his show. But if I do something out the way, y'all supposed to check me on it. And then you'd be like, look, we know you ain't like that, bro, but you was wrong for that. And that's how I look at Breeze. I don't think he is, what some people are saying about him, but you were wrong for that. You have to be accountable. Just like me, doing this little show, right? I don't curse on here or anything like that. Y'all know why? And I'm not a heavy cursor anyway. Do I curse? Sometimes, yeah. Have I cursed in my upbringing? Sure. But all it took was for a parent to hit me up in a DM and say, listen, my kid really likes your show. Please, can you please do me the honor of not cursing? I haven't heard you do it, but a lot of the people he watches on YouTube, that's all they do, and I never know who to trust. That was it for me. I wouldn't do it anyway, but I have a responsibility, right? You know what I'm saying? And this is the way I want to run my channel. Even when I'm streaming video games, I don't. I have a responsibility. Same way, like I said with Lanisha and Debbie here, when I make, man jokes, I'd be like, all right, it's a responsibility, and I'm still not going to do nothing crazy. I ain't going to say nothing out the way. Because I'm conscious of it. So that's what I'm saying. Breeze has to be conscious of what you're saying and doing. Period. You made a mistake, but you should not have made that mistake. But it is what it is. I forgive you. All right, man, let me get one that I haven't read. Okay, these last two. I haven't read you guys, so these will be the last two. Meredith Dent says, people seen many brutality tapes of blacks being killed and beaten, but yet we never got justice. Now I think we will because it was the cry out for his yeah, man, that sent chills down my spine when he called out for his mama. And also this, for some of y'all that might not know, Steven Jackson, ex-basketball player. Okay, I think we back. Are we back? Somebody confirm, are we back? Somebody give me the virtual thumbs up. Are we back? Because it said the stream was disconnecting. I don't know what was going on. And then it said it reconnected. Somebody confirm that the stream is still going. Okay, we back. All right, so I want to read those comments. Man, I don't know why I did that. I mean, I'm hardwired. It's weird. I don't know why I did that. So let me finish what I was saying. Let me read it, Mary. Yeah, Steven Jackson was saying that, look, his mom passed away. And I think 2 years to the day that he died. So Steven Jackson said, if y'all know my brother the way I do, he was calling his mom because he knew he was coming to see her. He said that wasn't him just calling for his mom in agony. Like, he knew what was happening. He knew he was dying. That hit me hard, man. I was like, oh, wow. So, absolutely. Let's read Cesar Diaz and then we'll get out of here. We have a better weapon than Baltimore and a championship QB that they lacked over there too. Okay. I think that's what you're saying is QB. It's spelled K-U-B-Y. And I don't know if you meant to do that for me to pronounce it QB or if that's autocorrect, because I know how texting and stuff gets sometimes if you're on the phone. I don't know if you are or not, but yeah. Okay, can you say, yeah, that's why I said a slow. But yeah, man, we'll end it on football talk instead of negative talk. Yeah, you're right, man. It's just they still I don't know, man. They got the edge. That's just how I feel right now, unless we prove it. And if we prove it, great. But all right, I think that's it, man. Sim, do he Twitch stream? You asking me? Nah, when I stream here on YouTube. When I stream, gaming, I don't do Twitch. If you're asking about me. I don't know if you're asking about me or not. But all right, man, we'll get out of here. And yes, I will say this. Somebody said, let me go back and find it so I can give you the exact. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Lost my thought for a moment. Yes, I watched Trey Lance and I watched Justin McMillan. So thank you for reminding me of that, because I forgot. I never came on here and talked to you guys about it. And Kenyon watched them as well. So maybe we'll do a still table and chop it up. But yes, I did watch both of them. I have my thoughts on the two of them. So we'll add that to next week as well. So next week, if I can remember and I sit my butt down and watch the film, maybe we'll do some film study on Matt Fowler. But I will write that down in my little notebook here to talk about Trey Lance and Justin McMillan, unless there's other, news to talk about, because we searching. I mean, I'm pulling at straws here trying to keep you guys somewhat entertained. But all right, that's going to do it, man. And y'all know what to do right here. Just do this for me. Do all three, but if you can only do one, do the like button. But I need you to subscribe, cut on your notifications. Definitely do that so you know when I'm streaming, or you know when I posted a new video. And hit the like button. It shouldn't be that hard, man. That don't hurt nobody to hit the like button. It helps me. Doesn't hurt any of you guys. And also, let me say this. All of you that have actually donated outside of YouTube, I saw a few of them in my email. You guys donated through PayPal. Thank you so much for that, man. I don't want that to go unnoticed. I appreciate you for doing that. And anybody else who prefers to donate, if you want to, only if you want to. If you prefer to do that outside of YouTube, the methods that I have is PayPal and Cash App. The information is in the description. Of course, you could always do it here on YouTube during the stream by clicking the $, and there you go. But all right, outside of that, man, I hope everybody has a good night. Be safe. Keep your eyes, on the news, because I know we're talking protests and all of that now, but do not forget, keep watching coronavirus news, because now they're saying that California is starting to spike a little bit again, and Florida, some of the earlier places that calmed down and now they're spiking back up. Let's not keep our eyes off of that, especially with all of those protests, man. We're going to see in about a week or two what the ramifications of that may have been. But either way, be safe. And this, when y'all see me again, as far as on the Steelers show, this is going to be gone. It's going to be trimmed down. My barber is finally able to open. I have an appointment on Tuesday. And let me just say this for you guys who are getting your hair groomed, and the ladies, if you're getting your hair done and your nails done, make sure you're doing it responsibly. My barber's got it set up where we're going to have on masks. He has on masks. It's only the appointment at a time. Nobody's waiting. If you do actually come while somebody else is getting service, there's a bottom floor that you sit on. Everybody masked up. He's checking temperatures. Even when he's doing beard and all that, you take your mask off and he's doing one side and being very careful. But I'm going to be so happy to finally get a haircut and get this monstrosity off of my face. At least shape it up some. But all right, that's all I got for y'all, man. Love you guys for coming out. Really, really appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. God bless. And thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.